Please welcome Mr. Amir Mujezin, who can finally see after 30 years of temporary blindness. Welcome, Mr. Mujezin. We've already mentioned at the beginning that you can finally see after 30 years of temporary blindness. Shall we start from the beginning of your story? When did the first problem occur? You were just a baby, weren't you? Well, I was born in 1978, and I was operated on for the first time as a 6-month-old baby at a military medical academy in Belgrade. That was when my lenses were removed without the implantation of necessary intraocular lenses. As my lenses had been removed, I could see only fog in front of me. That's how I lived for 32 years. I finished elementary and secondary schooling at the Center for Blind and Low Vision People here in Sarajevo. I finished secondary school and I was usually told, "There's no cure for you," or "You can get some diopter plus 10. Whenever I approached something, I either tripped over or stopped or hit my head at something, so I had to wear big glasses my whole life, and I wore them with so many difficulties, not to mention the pressure. No one had ever told me that I had that secondary glaucoma. In the hospital where I was treated, in Special Hospital Sveti, I underwent the first cataract surgery. The surgery was performed in 15 minutes by Professor Dr. Pavel Rozival, director of the Charles University in Prague, one of the best surgeons, a winner of all world awards. How many surgeries did you have? I had 4 surgeries. Since I had a higher level of strabismus in my left eye, Professor Rudolf Otrata, also one of the best world surgeons, a winner of world awards, pediatric surgeon, did 2 actions, nystagmus, involuntary eyeball movements, which means that even though you can see and you have nystagmus, you can't follow either figures or objects. You can't see anything and you are forced to squint. That was done in the first action, while in the other 2 actions, strabismus was solved. He couldn't return the left eye in one action, so in the second action, he got it back completely and solved the problem of strabismus. Today, the picture is much better.
U tom aktu je urađeno to i onda u druga 2 akta je urađen strabizam. Znači, on nije mogao u jednom aktu da vrati lijevo oko, znači, on je u drugom aktu, znači, potpuno vratio i riješen nystagmus i danas je to puno bolja slika, znači, ja sam prije...
Kako danas vidite?
How can you see today after all these surgeries? I can go to work by myself. I was the person who was guided before. First, I was brought to Sveti Vid, while today I can go to Sveti Vid by myself. I can get off the bus on my own, go to the hospital and come back. I can enter the clinic on my own, while earlier nurses and doctors had to help me. Now I can come on my own, knock on the door and say, "I'm here, I've arrived." I'll tell you the truth. At first I couldn't believe that this was possible. My whole life I wore dark glasses, trying to hide my problems somehow, because it's a bit uncomfortable when you look at someone and then you're asked, "Excuse me, are you looking over here or over there?" The eyes are in a parallel position, but... And then, at the examination when strabismus was concerned, I talked to the doctors and they told me they could operate it. Do you know what it means when someone tells you so daringly, "I can operate it"? It's a big thing when someone tells you, "I can get your eye back," while all my life I'd been told that it was a congenital defect and there were no chances to recover it. I was also warned not to be carried away and get fooled by others, because all this could lead to the amputation of the eye, so I thought it was better to live with your eye going to a side. What does vision mean to you? Vision is something that can't be compared to anything. A man without an arm, without a leg, and without an eye can function. A man without both legs and one arm can function. But when you have all this and you don't have vision, you have to ask others for help. Today, blind people live at the margins. Today, you must have a lot of money. For example, how could I pay someone to bring me here today? Everybody lives from interests and earnings. It's very difficult to be a person with a disability.
Dakle, vi danas morate imati jako puno novca da ja platim nekoga ovdje da me dovede. Znate, svi danas žive nekog interesa. Vrlo je teško biti osoba s invaliditetom.
What's the main difference between the life you used to live for 30 years and the one that you're living now? How would you describe that past period and how would you describe this period now? You know what? In the morning when you put your socks on, you know they're the same color, right? I think that's the big difference. Or you won't switch the socks, left to the right and right to the left. You can clean your shoes, you can get on transport. Isn't that a big difference? Exactly. You can do that today. I'd like to know what the first thing you saw after those 4 surgeries was. How did you feel then, after 30 years of darkness? I have a family, I'm a family man. I've been married for 11 years, and I have a son who is in the 3rd grade of elementary school. It's wonderful to be able to see his blue little eyes that smile brightly, and there's nothing more beautiful for a man who had nylon in front of his eyes all his life. I'm still getting used to it. It takes some time to get used to it. Sometimes pictures or lines are sharp and you have to learn to see them. But thank God, it's good. It couldn't be better. Nobody at Sveti told me that I'd be able to fly a plane or drive a Formula 1 car, but they said I could get comfort because I came to Sveti a bit late, at the age of 32.
Meni nije niko rekao u Svetom vidu da ću voziti avion, ne znam, Formulu 1 broj. Ali su rekli da se može dobiti konfornost, jer sam ja došao, znate, kasno. Ja sam kasno došao u Sveti vid. Sa 32 godine, znate, tada već počinje čovjek da ide u nebo.